Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the new Star Ace Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is the Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy Quidditch Deluxe figure set. Before we have a look at the figures themselves, let's have a look at this box art, which features both Harry Potter and Draco on the side there, and then on the down below we've got Hogwarts and the crest there as well. A nice box artwork. Always impressed by the way Star Ace presents their figures. Love the figures inside, and I think really the box artwork is just the icing on the cake. Side of the box, we've got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Gryffindor, and then down below Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy. This is the Quidditch version of SA0017. That's your product code. In the back of the package, you've got my favorite movie series, 1/6 scale collectible action figure SA0017 Harry Potter and Draco or Draco Malfoy. There's a warning: choking hazard, adult collectible. This is not a toy. It's recommended for ages 15 and up. That's your packaging. Spot's going to take a break. Oh, and also one other thing too, we have to represent Draco as well. There's a Slytherin, and then Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy down below as well. There's your packaging. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the two figures, Harry and Draco, in the Quidditch Deluxe figure set. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. All right, so basically now looking at the figures, yes, they do come with display stands, and the display stands are a little different than what we've seen with previous releases. Let me show you what I mean. Yes, with this particular deluxe set, you get yourself two, and I've got a little bit of just a little bit of problem on the one side, but you get two of these really nice flocked green kind of faux grass display stands, one for Harry, one for Draco. And they are, I mean, the cool end of it is that they can be displayed with themselves riding the brooms. I'll show you how that works in a second. But you could still technically display them just on the grassy knolls, as you can see right here. Love, though, how it's flocked. And flocked is essentially where you pelt like a display stand with this flocking material. They've done it, one of the earliest members, obviously most people remember, is Moss Man from Masters of the Universe. But there's a nice close-up look at that. Glorious, glorious flocking. Panther, I think was Skeletor's steed, came with that as well. Over the course of time, this may wear down. I mean, it depends on how much wear, how much handling you're doing of it. I've still got some toys from my childhood that were flocked, and they've held up relatively well. Corner rounded areas seem to tend to wear the fastest, but if you display them with enough care, these should last you for a good period of time. With the display stands too, you also see that there are 3 holes, and the 3 holes then can accommodate the multitude of different adjustable clips that come for the figures. There is a much larger clip, and both actually Harry and Draco come with mirrored versions of all of these accessories. So you get 2 waist clips. You get basically like a couple of support clips. You got a longer waist, a longer neck, I should say. That can adjust like so. You can run that then in the middle, and then you can display the figure like so. Then you can use the side holes for displaying any number of the different accessories, all of which we can look at in a second. But you have all these little adjustable necks. All are a clear plastic, and all of them have adjustable hinges to them. So like the main one that I just attached here does have a hinge left and right. Or again, you can rotate these too. So you would have a forward and back motion. And then also you have a swivel basically on the top here where the waist clip would attach to the figure. We are, though, going to get to the accessories in a second. There are a fair number of accessories that come included with the figures, but you know what? We don't want to take too much away from the figures themselves. Let's have a look at the figures first, and then we'll kind of resume with the accessories. So here we have Harry Potter, a younger Harry. Star Ace has delved into many, many incarnations of, well, not incarnations, but different age brackets of Harry Potter, some younger. They have started to delve into the older Harrys as well, which I'm looking forward to a lot of the older Harry Potter figures. But here we have a younger Harry, and some nice detailing here. He's some smaller, even small details Star Ace continue to shine with. So we've got a little Gryffindor patch here on this bright red suit here, stitched up at the front. You could theoretically remove the robes altogether on both figures. Essentially what you'd be getting underneath, though, is, in this case, a Gryffindor sweater. And then you've got your kind of a khaki pants, knee pads, shin guards, and then you've got your gloves, your arm guards and gloves. These also can all be removed. As you can see that the strapping is wrapped around the front shin guard, or the back of the shin guard, knees as well, and also the arms. Again, you can take these off, but for all the numerous different releases that we've gotten from Star Ace for Harry Potter figures, honestly speaking, I don't know if I would delve too much into taking these things off. We've gotten like casual Harrys, we've gotten different Harry Potters that keeping him, I think, in the robe for me is going to be where I'm going to be displaying him. You know, again, if you want to take it off, you could completely, you know, you could do that. It just would be a matter of unstitching this and then, of course, trying to have to feed it back together when you decide later that you want to put this back on. He's got his hood in the back there, which actually is a real hood. I mean, you could drape it over his head if you so wish. But let's have a look at Harry's face. Yes, Harry's face is quite good. Again, you've got the scarring there of the lightning bolt on his forehead. No frame, or I should say there are frames, but there's no lenses on the glasses, which actually I think is a smarter move. Sometimes when you put lenses on glasses of a smaller figure, it distorts their eyes and thereby then takes away from the face sculpt. In this case, it does look like, yeah, it's just a wire frame, which serves fine for me for a glass on a figure. The tone on the face, because they are a younger incarnation of Harry and Draco, the face or skin tone would be much fairer. The sculpting on the hair, very, very nicely done. Never any issues really when it comes to Star Ace release stuff. They always, especially the Harry Potter stuff, they seem to nail these figures. It's like they're bread and butter. So nice face sculpt on Harry Potter. No complaints whatsoever. Draco, you're essentially getting the same sort of thing that you got with Harry Potter. You have the figure here in very similar looking pants, the knee pads, the shin guards, and the arm guards. And then over top of that, he's got his Slytherin robe complete with patch. And let's get a close look at that. Patch is done very, very nicely. Smallest of details showing through. Now Harry's stitch up here is black. Draco's here is brown. But underneath this, if you, again, wanted to take it off, I really wouldn't recommend it personally speaking. This is more hassle to take it back off, or to put it back on. But underneath that, Draco would have a Slytherin sweater underneath there, which would be the green and the beige as well to match those of the pants. These can be removed. Knee pads can be removed. Shin pads can be removed. Again, really, would you want to? If you wanted to display them, I suppose, without the robe entirely, so you could. I honestly speaking would just keep them completely robed as is. And keep them obviously for playing Quidditch, which is what we're going to be doing in a bit. Before we do that though, just want to have a look at Draco's face. He's a obviously younger version of Draco. Face sculpt is very good on him though. He seems to have a little bit more of the warmer colors than what Harry has. Harry seems to have cooler tones of flesh coloring. Draco's got a little bit more of warmer colors here. Although he does have a much fairer complexion, at least in the standpoint of he's got a fair hair color. You can see his hair is in a blonde. And it looks like what they did was they used a more peach color for the undercoloring, and then they layered a wash of a lighter blonde over top. Face sculpt, though, on both figures are very good. As for the accessories, the figures come with the following. You get yourself a quaffle and bludger, which are both very nicely painted, one a little bit more than the other. Nice red tones being used. I love also the additional wash that makes it look really aged. Got the stitching there as well. and then the smaller of the two, painted very nicely in the brown, and some additional washing there as well. Both accessories look very aged. Again, that's what I really like about it. It's that little bit of extra paint and coloring, a little bit extra wash that goes a long way to make something go from pristine to looking like something that would have been used for a long period of time. This, again, goes a long way. Nice paint jobs. You also get yourself a bat. Now, actually, these accessories, the Quaffle, the Bludger, and the Bat, are only available in the twin pack release of these guys. I don't know if there was actually singular releases of these, but the twin pack are the ones that come with these accessories. One Bat, one Quaffle, and one Bludger for the two figures. Bat also nicely painted. It's not quite black either. It's almost like a purple black down below here. And then you've got some gunmetal at the top, a ring of gunmetal, and some red on the tips here as well. And of course, you couldn't have a Quidditch version release of these guys without the Golden Snitch. There's the Golden Snitch right there. Again, looks very, very nice. Very fragile on the wings. You gotta be very careful on those. I'm just kind of holding it by the wing. But there's the detailing. Let's see if we can actually get the camera in there. There we go. Zoom, 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 zoom. Camera doesn't want to actually focus on that because it's such a, there it is. It's such a small accessory. There's the Golden Snitch. And as you can see that the wings are very thin pliable plastic. Now the Golden Snitch also comes with a display stand. We've seen this display stand type before. Actually comes with like this little, almost just like a little wire, like a golden wire. And it actually has, I had a tough time finding this because the plugs, they come with the same sort of plugs that we've seen with other Harry Potter figure releases, but there is a hole and it's very, very hard to make out. Actually, I think there's the hole right there. There's the hole. Line up and that wire runs right into it. Then you can go ahead and take one of the stands and you can plug it into that hole. And depending on which one fits the best. Actually, you know what? I think, yeah, this one runs underneath. There we go. And then this runs inside. Again, that hole is very, very, very small. And you can get it to look like that. And by the way, for the Golden Snitch, you're just going to sit it into the loop. It doesn't actually peg into place necessarily. It just sits atop the looped portion of the gold colored wire. It's small enough and it's faint enough that on a display standpoint, you're really not going to see this as much. So it's nice that they include it. Obviously, you got to be a little careful displaying it. And I can't stress this enough. For how small the Golden Snitch is, be careful that you don't also lose it. For broom options, Harry Potter comes with his tried and true trusty broom, which has some nice brown work there. And on the top there, you've got Nimbus 2000. Some nice grain work done on the side to make it look like real wood. And you've got the gold bands wrapping around the broom portion of it with your struts underneath. Then for Draco, you've got yourself the Nimbus 2001, which is an updated take to the Nimbus 2000. Now replacing the gold bands with nice silver bands and a much higher performance looking strut for him to place his feet on. There's the back portion of it. Nice paint work done also on the back portion of the broom. By comparisons, let's bring in Harry's again. There's Harry's, there's Draco's. One's much sleeker obviously than the other. Very, very nice. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to display these figures. Now, we've already really looked at the one figure. Let's pop this out here. I'm just going to take the Golden Snitch peg out. We've already looked at how to display the figure. If you want to just display them by default, either one of the figures, you can just peg into place like so. And you could have, oops, not have Harry fall, though, in the process. But you could have the freestanding figures via the accompanying middle neck being added like so. Now if you want to adjust this then to have the brooms, what you're going to need to do is bend this slightly. This you'll want to accommodate and just bend depending on how you want to have it, how you want to have it standing, I should say. And then you can go ahead and take these little back, smaller, essentially smaller versions, but you can see that the loop is a lot smaller in size. That will go just to the back portion, like so. This will hold the back section of the broom. We just want to adjust that back like so, bring that up. Then we can go ahead and take this part, this section right here, and you'll see that there's a little clamp at the top. That clamp will fit to the front, and then essentially that's going to then hold the broom across the display. Here's the completed look of what the broom will look like. As you can see, I've got the clamp on the front holding the handle portion of the broom, and then the back circular clamp holding the back section of the broom. One thing you'll notice too as well is that the clamps vary from broom. The smaller clamp will be accommodating the Harry's broom, and the larger clamp will accommodate Draco's. And here's what the two figures look like with their brooms attached to the stands. Now I did these in two different formations so that you could see. With the necks also being adjustable and it being able to swap out the ones that you need for, I actually have Harry running on a lower angle for his broom, as you can see there. And that's, I've got it clamped to his waist, the front clamp holding to the broom handle, and then the back section holding the broom. With Draco, I did something a little bit different, so to show you that it can still be accommodating. This, let me just move Harry out of the way here for a second. Draco, I've left the clamp still in place to show you, but I also wanted to show you as well that the waist clip on the back section does a sufficient enough job of holding the figure in place that I've actually got the broom angled higher up, and I'm not even really making use of this. So you can, what you can then do then is switch these out for things such as the golden snitch, where you can have that running forward and really only utilizing two of the posts for holding the figure in place. And Draco, also with the included interchangeable hands, he holds it just fine. And everything is well supported that you really don't actually need that third neck. The Starry's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy Quidditch version actually gives you a lot of cool things that you can do with it. So many times we just have the figures, or at least I do, I have the figures just standing upright with their wands and maybe some really cool accessories. I seldom actually have them out on display in action poses such as what you see right here. By incorporating a set that essentially gives us everything that we would need, two really good figures, display bases, the brooms, and of course this awesome backdrop, well, we can incorporate then something a little bit different to displaying them above and beyond just standing them upright. I really like this setup. I didn't actually incorporate all the things in there, such as all the additional accessories. I will kind of play around with this a little bit. I just want to kind of give you guys the bare bones look at what they look like on their brooms, because it's such a great fun set to pick up. It captures the two characters in their younger presentations, and I really quite like this set a lot. Of course, big fan of the Starry's Harry Potter releases as well. This one's going to look very, very nicely. Actually, pretty much what you see right now. Again, I'll just incorporate more things like the bat and like the golden snitch and stuff like that into the setup. But this is essentially going to be how I'm going to be displaying these two figures. This is a set I think you would want to pick up for displaying dynamic poses rather than having them standing as perhaps what you might do with other figures. If you get a chance to pick this set up, I would really recommend doing so if you're a big fan of the Harry Potter franchise. Again, today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the new Harry Potter, the Chamber of Secrets, and the Chamber of Secrets. This was the Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy Quidditch version. And this deluxe set featured two characters and some really cool accessories as well. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.